Hey, what's going on, YouTube? What's happening? So this is CC Talk here again. Wow, long time no speak, y'all. I haven't talked to y'all about soaps in a minute. I wanted to come through and do pretty much a review over the last couple of months, the days of our lives. My. Wow, Ron Carlivati has been running the fuck out of days. Like, he has engaged me back into the show. It's back to being the most entertaining soap on television, and I must go even more of a step further. When Days isn't doing a lot of tomfoolery, plot driven foolishness, Days of Our Lives is pretty much is the This Is Us of daytime. Considering the storylines they have playing out right now, oh my god, it has just been the This Is Us of daytime, and I just wanted to come through and gloat about it because it's just been phenomenal. Okay, so to me, the A story by far is the Black Lives Matter storyline. That story has had so many layers, and it's just been fucking incredible, particularly on the acting front most of all. Casey Moss, James Reynolds, babies, please throw your names into the Emmy pot for Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, because y'all have been bringing it. Y'all have been incredible by far. Like James Reynolds, Abe, you have been just phenomenal. Like, you have channeled every black parent's greatest fear, sending their child out into the world, and that fear of they possibly will never come back, because maybe they've gotten caught up in some sort of police brutality. But then you're also channeling the whole fact of, like, you're the mayor, and you're supposed to serve the people as well. And you're taking out all of your frustrations out on, the Hortons, the first family of the show. JJ, the shooter, Jennifer for being his mama, Hope for not following your instructions and rules to getting rid of JJ. You're taking it out on all of the Hortons, and it's just been great. Well written, character driven stuff on the Abe front. And then when you get to Casey Moss, JJ, my god, I mean, he is just nailing it. I mean, Casey Moss wasn't getting this type of material the last couple of years under Higley, Griffith, and Milstein. Now Kalavati has literally just fed him just great material in this stuff. I mean, he is literally going through the whole paces of being very dark and depressed and just feeling just awful, and he's just delivering it. Like, Casey Moss is just ripping my heart out, like his emotions and him just going through what he's going through as JJ. I mean, it's, him feeling like a fuck up and a screw up, and he broke up with Lonnie, which killed me because I have grown to loving Lonnie and JJ together as a couple. Absolutely love them as a couple together. They have literally won me over. And, in the beginnings, I'm not even going to lie to y'all, I did not care for them as a couple last year. Hell, I didn't even care about Lonnie for the last couple of years. I didn't understand, like, why we needed Lonnie as a character on this show, let alone being Abe's daughter. But now I care about Lonnie now, thanks to Ron Carlivati. And they have this wonderful ride or die type of pairing thing going on that I love and fucking appreciate, and I just adore. And it just works. And it's just sad that they had to break up because Abe didn't want her to be with him because of what happened to her brother Theo. And I mean, it's just been amazing to see how improved that young lady has come along who plays Lonnie. And again, she's won me over. Then we go from that angle of it, and then we get to the Damaras and the Johnsons angle of it, and then you get Kate is the main reason why Theo got shot, because she wanted Theo to go and check on some things dealing with the Demara Enterprises and who was trying to, I guess, scam or do some shady shit behind their backs in terms of the company. She wanted him to go check on some things late at night about it, and of course he ended up getting shot. And which is crazy to me because they're Damaras, right? You mean to tell me Kate, especially being somebody who's married not once but twice in that family, you mean to tell me she could not find somebody with all of the millions that she has accumulated over the decades? She could had, found somebody to do that other than Theo. But whatever. I mean, I guess you have to suspend some disbelief on that end, right? But, she definitely was living with the guilt of that because she told Andre eventually because Chad was sitting up here literally just blaming Andre because, again, Andre has had a long reputation in terms of his history of doing shady criminal lies, murderous bullshit in his past that always haunts him. So everybody looks at him and says, "Oh, well, it was him. It was all Andre." And so now Kate, being somebody who couldn't live with that guilt, she ended up telling um, Andre about it, and she was doing the whole crying spill about it. And Andre is just like, "All right." So pretty much he has the information now. He has it in his back pocket for ever it comes out. He has something to hold it over her, but he hasn't said that yet in dialogue, at least to my knowledge. But where the Johnsons plays in with Steve and Kayla is because Kate went and she was trying to get Theo's cell phone after he had gotten shot because whatever, text messages, voice messages that was on his phone, she was going to clear out. And so I think Trip and Claire had his cell phone, and she went on ahead and blackmailed Trip to the side and said, if you don't give me that cell phone, I'm going to make damn sure that the board will, take your stepmother's job away because your inheritance that you gave to the hospital is basically blood money because your mom was in the mafia. And so he got a little scared about it, but he did tell Steve about it last week about it. And Steve and Kayla have pretty much banded together and compared notes and trying to figure out like why Kate has been so like, oh, let me try to get, you know, Trip to give her the cell phone and then trying to make sure that her hands are clean of anything dealing with Theo. And so they're trying to figure it all out, piece things together. So I am liking that angle of it, and I'm liking how Kayla and Kate are going back and forth at it because it's like Kate is, like, oh, now you got balls now, but Kayla's looking at it, it's like, hell yeah, I got balls. You threatened or you blackmailed my stepson. If you come at my stepson, I know you come at the rest of my family. So I am liking how Steve and Kayla are being used in this part of the story on this show as it pertains to, again, this Black Lives Matter storyline. So that's cool. Then you get another angle of this umbrella storyline. You get Gabby and Eli. So you get these two having conversation about the shooting at the police station. And so this just happened last week, and Eli brought up to Gabby and said, don't you think that it's kind of, weird that JJ, even though he told Theo to freeze and all this other, he still shot Theo. And then that's when Gabby was like, I know you're not trying to say that JJ is racist, especially since he has a black girlfriend. Eli was like, just because he got a black girlfriend don't mean nothing. He can still harbor racist attitudes towards other people within her own race. What the hell are you talking about? And so, of course, Gabby didn't want to hear any more of it. So she ended up stomping off and going to JJ's place or whatever. And she just didn't want to hear any more. And I love the conversation back and forth because that is such an Agnes Nixon approach to writing. Because if you read Ron Calavati's interview from Soap Opera Digest several months back when he was talking about writing the show, he said one of his, his favorite soaps that he's ever watched was All My Children. And so the fact that one of his favorite soaps is All My Children shows me right there that when he did that dialogue between Eli and Gabby, which was so powerful and so relevant, I was like, this guy's a student of Agnes Nixon, and I couldn't be any more happier. That was such an Agnes Nixon approach to writing, and I was just so happy. And again, as a Days fan, to have a topical storyline that has nothing to do with rape or sexual abuse, and this is something that, again, that needs to be talked about in storyline with this Black Lives Matter storyline. It's great. And the fact that you're getting the opinions from both Gabby and Eli and letting the audience, kind of like be educated as well as drop their own conclusions and opinions is great, because again, that's what Agnes Nixon would have done, and I'm just so happy about that. You know what I'm saying? I am so happy and thrilled about that. Okay, so there's that, and then next we get the other angle, and that is Hope, Rafe, and Sammy. This triangle that's going on. And I must say, even though I am totally Team Hope, 1,000,000% through and through, this little triangle has lived up to its billing, even though it has pissed me off in terms of like the Hope end, because it still has Hope being just like so harlequin and so dingy and so snowed, and it just makes me so angry because I root for Hope like crazy. I'm just waiting for the day for Hope to finally just get a backbone, get some balls, and be like, you are not gonna play me out like I've been dealing with this shit with Bo and Patrick and Aiden. I need her to just have her breaking point with Rafe and say like, no, motherfucker, you're not gonna do me this way, But this little triangle, for the short time we have it, has lived up to its billing. For those of y'all that already know or don't know, y'all know a couple weeks back, Hope and Rafe broke up because they had difference of opinion about Rafe taking her job away. Then also how he couldn't live up to Bo Brady's, compared to him, and and how Hope just won't let that side go. And I'm sitting up here like looking at Rafe like, motherfucker, she has well over 30 something years with this motherfucker. You only been with Hope for like 2. Like, come on, motherfucker, are you serious right now? But whatever. And then he said something about along the lines of like he's ready to march down the aisle with her, but she's dragging her feet. I said, dude, you've only been engaged to her for for about 4 months. Like, are you serious right now? Like, why are you trying to rush this whole thing about marching down the aisle? Like, it just didn't make any sense. And he's sitting up here saying all this shit about all in her face, talking about I don't do casual, I'm a one woman kind of man, I know what I want, and la da da, and I want you, but it doesn't seem like you want me back. And Hope is like doing her whole beating around the bush about her end. And I mean, she was bringing up some points, but she wasn't hitting it hard enough. And I ain't gonna lie, when she was sitting up there calling Sammy the ex-wife, and how and how she the ex-wife Sammy was getting put before her, I mean, she was right on that, because I'm like, Rafe, ever since Sammy has came back into town, and Sammy saw Paul and John about to dig up Will's grave, she called up Rafe to make sure that those two didn't dig up the grave. And every time when Sammy barks at him, he comes with the bone. Like, that's how he is. And I'm sitting here like, you know what, Hope is right on that. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a Hope fan. I am saying that because it's true. And he's still saying like, oh, I don't do casual, it's always been about you, and la da da. So the minute they broke up, which shocked me, because I thought that it was going to be Hope that was going to break up with him because he couldn't deal with the fact that he was living in Bo Brady's shadow. No, he just was like, basically, he's like, if I can't have all of you then just give me my ring back, sort of thing. So she gave him the ring back. She was an emotional wreck and distress. Sammy and him met up because Sammy got chewed out by Will, Lucas, John, and Marlena after how she had Will almost set up to get strangled to death. They ripped her a new one on that, and that's how she met up with Rafe at the Horton Square. And then that's when they went back to her place and they started talking and conversing and whatever. And that was when they proceeded to get drunk and they started to get close and started to kiss, and that's when they started to hunch and whatever. So after it was over, you could see like the immediate guilt that Rafe had because he had told Hope that he don't do casual, and here he was doing a casual thing, sleeping with her niece, the ex-wife, and yeah, and Hope is all sad and depressed on the other end of town, I guess, sad and whatever that, her relationship was over with Rafe. And then so the morning after comes and Sammy's just basically telling Rafe, like, look, this was just fun. I'm still gonna be Mrs. Demera. I'm still gonna be looking for EJ. So you need to be trying to get back with Hope and don't make it a big thing. Like, don't even tell her about this. But see, of course, Sammy don't want Hope to know because, she knows, like, if Hope finds out about it, Hope is going to tear her a new one, possibly, because she's heard of Hope's reputation of killing Stefano. She don't want to deal with that. So that's why she wants Rafe to keep it on the down low and on the hush hush. And so then Hope comes over to Sammy's apartment looking for Rafe, which was hilarious to me because that was the first place she went. She goes over there looking for Rafe. And this scene just had me so upset because I'm sitting up here like, oh my God, I hate when soaps do this. I hate when soaps do this because it's just like, damn, I understand we got to suspend our disbelief, but my God, like, really, bitch, really? So that was when Hope stopped by Sammy's looking for Rafe. Sammy's in her robe and whatever. The engagement ring, Hope's engagement ring was sitting on the floor and stuff, and she had to kick it up underneath the thing, but so it wouldn't be found, because she would have gotten found out about if that would have came out. But you mean to tell me, Ron? Now, Ron Carlivati, stop trying to snow the artist. You mean to tell me Hope can't smell sex in the air? You mean to tell me that Hope being with Rafe for the last 2 years, she don't know how her man smell? Like, come on, Sammy and Hope share the same motherfucking man. You mean that Rafe was up in the bathroom hiding, so Sammy and Hope was sitting up here having this loud conversation about, her feelings for Rafe and stuff like that. And Sammy's all lying in Hope's face, talking about, oh, I ain't seen Rafe. I don't know where he at, but when I find out, I'll make sure to tell you. Maybe he's at the athletic club or something like that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, Hope, you're a detective, bitch. And not to mention, Sammy is the biggest liar of all of daytime. You mean to tell me you can't tell when this bitch is lying to you like this, girl? Like, come on. And I'm hoping, considering what's going to happen, based off of the spoilers, it's supposed to be revealed that Sammy and Rafe's, little role in the hay is going to be revealed on Thursday's episode, because I didn't see any other spoilers after Thursday that's going to indicate anything else. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, well, okay, like, these two, their little thing is going to be revealed on Thursday, but on Friday, I didn't see nothing. Next week, I think they're supposed to be getting ready for more Christmas stuff and whatever. So I'm sitting here like, okay, like, what? So I don't know what's going to happen after that. So I'm hoping that we get a lot of scenes on Thursday's episode, so it can be just incredible and amazing. And I hope my girl gets some mad scenes, because she could throw up 2 things in Rafe's face off the cuff. And I don't give a damn what Rafe fans say. But this is what she could definitely say to Rafe in his face. She said, she could easily just say off the top, you said you don't do motherfucking casual. Here you were doing casual with my niece, bitch. Okay? You doing casual with my niece. You sitting up here, smash my niece. Wasn't even about an hour or 2 after you done got through taking your ring back from me. That's 1, motherfucker. 2, the secret. Why did you want to keep this a secret? See, again, you following what your ex-wife is doing instead of, trying to follow, anything what we got going on. Like, seriously, you still following what your ex-wife is saying, and she could just throw a lot of things in Ray's face at that very moment. And that's where I want the writing to head. I want Hope to be a stronger ass female character and just be like, no, I am not fit to sit up here and put up with the same bullshit that I put up with Bo most of the time when it came to Billy and Corley, and I'm just gonna set you straight now, and especially if she takes him back. Like, I want her to set him straight, get him right, and then, see where it ends up. But I will say this, if and when, they do get their situations and their problems in order and they do or possibly pursue, marching down the aisle, I really hope that, Hope does get some sort of happiness and storybook type of happiness, because this character has been through the ring of the last 3 or 4 years and she deserves that. But with Billy coming back, I really do hope that Hope has her in her wedding, as a bridesmaid and whatnot, and they will actually have some really good scenes together, especially as it pertains to Bo and, the fact that they do have children together with this man, and, they can do the reminiscing thing. And you got to understand, like, when Chris Alfonso came back as Gina back in the mid 90s, before she recognized she was Hope in the in the initial dialogue, Billy and Gina, quote unquote Gina, had a friendship. They were homegirls, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of want that dial up to be made, and I also want them to kind of just have their scenes together as, again, as rekindled homegirls in a way. That would be great, because if that was one thing that was missing after Bob died, they did not bring back Chelsea and they did not bring back Billy, which I thought was a slap in the face, because I'm like, this is his child, you know what I'm saying? This is his child, and not to mention, this is his ex-wife that he did have some feelings for. So it's just like, it makes no sense to me that, this show just did not want to bring those two back. And hopefully that they will bring, they will bring back Billy, but I hope that she also brings back Chelsea right behind her too. I wouldn't mind if Chelsea came back permanently, considering Abigail is back. They could rekindle their friendship, and hey, maybe they could have a three, like a triangle too: Chelsea, Chad, and Abigail. Yes, I said it. I like Abby and Chad, but come on, people, this is a soap. You got to have some layer of drama and whatever. So, in order for your couple to still stay viable on the show. But other than that, I have enjoyed the writing between Rafe and Hope for the most part under Ron Calavati, and I have grown to like them as a couple. So if you got a problem with that, that's on you. But I personally have grown to like them as a couple now, because they are actually dealing with adult challenges and problems as a couple, and they can still have loving and caring moments, but that doesn't mean that they can't have problems just like any other couple on the show. You know what I mean? Then my girl, Sierra, is back. I am so glad. Now look, I have already seen some people already fussing and all up in their feelings about, like, oh, her attitude is this, and she needs to bring it down a few notches and la da da. But I'm like, no. This is how Sierra should have been written once they sore-assed her back in 2015. But Dina Higley and Josh Griffith wrote this pathetic, unrootable, written Sierra that shouldn't have been written after so many incredible years of Lauren Boyles playing little Sierra. Like, now this Sierra that is played by, what's her name, Victoria Carnival. I hope I'm saying her last name right. I'm probably not. But yeah, she is ballsy, badass, takes no prisoners. I love it. I love where they're going with Sierra. I love that she's already getting in Claire's face, putting her in her place, putting that bitch in check. Everybody's forgetting that Claire had, took Theo away from Sierra because after Sierra was raped, under Vivian Giovanni's Sierra literally pushed Theo out of the way because it was like she just did not feel like herself anymore after being raped, and she went and she wanted to flirt with Chad and all this other stuff and la da da. And so Claire seized upon that and she took Theo away from Sierra. And then, the whole letter thing and whatever. And, there's so many other layers. But I will say this. Days, if baby who plays Theo is really leaving the show, maybe he's going to do primetime work and other projects, please recast. Please recast, please recast, because I cannot. Y'all are really going to do a Sierra Trip and Claire triangle? Are you fucking kidding me? It's already bad enough. You already have all of these half cousins, half siblings, pseudo, pairings going at each other. It's just nasty. Like, stop, Dave, stop. Bring on a recasted Theo. I would prefer if you got Taquan Richmond from General Hospital, because they don't do nothing with him over there on General Hospital. Let's just keep it real. They don't do nothing with him. Bring him over to Days. He could be Theo, and we could get Theo and Sierra done right this time. Because the fact that Joey is Claire and Sierra's first and second cousins, okay, and the fact that Trip is literally practically related to the both of these girls, and he's gonna be in a fucking triangle with the both of them. That's some fucking gross ass shit. I'm sorry. I'm tired of this show particularly always doing these pseudo incestuous triangles and pairings. It's enough. Stop it. Like, bring on either a new guy for Sierra that is hot, sexy, that could possibly, get her right. Or, like I said, just recast Theo. I would prefer you recast Theo and just bring on Taquan Richmond and have him play Theo. Because I think he would be awesome to play Theo. I'm just saying. But, I just don't. I just don't. But I will say Claire and Trip do have chemistry. It's just that whole pseudo cousins thing. It just doesn't work out for me because it just looks nasty. And considering Claire already calls Steve Uncle Steve a lot of times to his face, and then Trip is his son. It's just it's just nasty. I just don't. But other than that is the umbrella story. And again, Will, Paul, and Sonny. Look, let me tell y'all something. I know everybody is rooting for Paul to kind of like, I don't know, like everybody's rooting for Sonny and Will to be together, because they're like pretty much the super couple of that gay triangle that's gonna proceed to play out. But for me, Paul and Will is sex on a motherfucking stick. And I must say, like, when I saw Paul with that no shirt on, Christopher Sean, oh my God. That is one hunky, sexy ass man. I mean, he is gorgeous. And you could just tell when Chandler Macy's Will saw him with no shirt, because the last Will, Guy Wilson, was the one that had him romantically. Chandler Macy didn't have him romantically on the show. You could just see it on his face that he's like, all right, like this. Yeah, I'm back. I'm ready for this. Like, this is gonna be right here. So I'm sitting here just laughing like, because I must say, Paul looks like the awkward, not Paul, but Sonny. Sonny looks like the awkward one out of the three boys. Because when I'm looking at Will and Paul, I'm thinking, damn, they are sex on a stick. But Sonny looks like the awkward one. At least based off of the scenes that I saw last week between them. But I must say this too. If them three boys in the same scene was on a show like Shameless or Queer as Folk or any show that's on HBO, Showtime, or Stars, them three boys would be having a threesome, and Paul would be the aberration that would be the top, banging them the both out. I'm just saying, because I just I understand that there's still some parameters and pearl clutching still in daytime when it comes to these last four soaps, when it comes to LGBTQ couples and pairings and other. But I just look at Will, Paul, and Sonny, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, damn. Like, Paul would just bang them to both out, particularly Will. Like, it's just something about that, like, just screams fucking hot. Just sexy as hell. I just love me some Will and Paul just by the look of them. They just look so damn sexy together. When they kissed last week, I felt it. It was so hot. I was like, damn. I don't know, but I just want him to kind of, like I said, I want Will to kind of play up his Sammy Brady gene, like, yeah, he wants to be with Sonny, like, that's his boo boo, that's his thing, that's his baby. But when it comes to Paul, he ain't gonna mind every once in a while getting turned down and banged out every once in a while by Paul. So I just, I'm just saying, but I'm just ready for Will to get his memories back, and let's just go ahead and let this triangle play out for what it is. Cause I'm ready. I'm ready. I am so ready. And then of course we got the C storyline, and that is this whole ring around the rosy thing, merry-go-round of who killed Deimos. Okay, this is what kind of brings the show down. I just need for Ari Zucker, Nicole to come back for a couple more episodes so we can just get the elephant out the room and, out in the open and say, yeah, she was the one that killed Deimos. Because I'm over seeing Brady and Eve and Victor argue over this, going back and forth. You killed Deimos. You killed Deimos. You killed Deimos. It's just like, none of y'all bitches killed Deimos. The bitch that killed Deimos is out of town right now. It's just like, I just need for them to just go ahead and just hit the beat with this part of the story and just let's move on about our day, because I'm just over it too. Like, I'm over it. And now I'm reading like spoilers that is going to indicate, and again, if you don't like spoilers, go ahead and click off right now, that are going to indicate that there is going to be a quote-unquote surprise couple that is going to hunch, I think, next week. I'm assuming it's going to be Brady and Eve or Chloe and Lucas. It's going to be one of the two. And I'm so mad that we're not getting Chloe and Brady when it was sitting right there before us. And the fact that we were getting the scenes and their chemistry was starting to get back right, Eric and Nadia's, and now we're going to get Chloe and Lucas again. We're going to possibly get Brady and Eve until Jen Lilly comes back, and then we'll get Brady and Teresa, because those two sisters are going to be fighting over his ass, and Teresa is going to win back Brady. And it's just a bunch of bullshit, because I have been waiting forever for, Brady and Chloe to rekindle their romance, because they are each other's first love. Let's be real. And, and none of us have saw Eric's version of Brady with Nadia's Chloe. And I want to see that, because I think they would be sex on a stick. They are both gorgeous people, and they play off of each other well enough, and it just makes me so sick that this show refuses to do Chloe and Brady. It's like, but it's like, Brady and Chloe haven't happened in a while. And it would be just great if we got to see that one more time, at least, done right. And Corday is just like, no, we're not going to do it. And it's just ridiculous. And I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get it. But anyways, and I just don't even understand why we're getting Chloe and Lucas. I didn't even know they had fans for them to be revisited again. What the fuck? Like, what? So it's just, whatever, bitch. But other than that, that's been days. And look, like I said, it when it's not doing the tomfoolery and the ridiculous bullshit, James Riley, Dina Higley, plot point crap, from the 90s and the 2000s, and, doing all the doppelganger stuff and whatever. It's usually it can be the best soap in daytime, real talk. Um, oh, I forgot to talk about Kristen, right? I forgot to talk about Ali Davidson. Ali Davidson coming back. Look, the money shot for me is always going to be Christian, y'all. It's always going to be Christian. It's always Christian. It's always Christian. I like Susan myself. I like Sister Mary, but I could have dealt without them, considering that we were only getting Eileen Davidson for a short drive-by run. You could have just gave me Christian, and you could have just won me over with that and just did something incredible with her. But I really did not need to see Susan and Mary if we were only going to see Eileen Davidson for a short run. I mean, it's been okay with the Will storyline and her having him believe that he's EJ, which, again, mistaken identities is a soap trope and it's totally ridiculous, but it's been okay. But, I wanted Christian back. That's what I wanted, and it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, Ali Davidson's been doing all right with the material. It's just that, like I said, I wanted Kristen back, and that's who I wanted, at least since we was only getting her for a short time. But nevertheless, that's my review on Days. If I had to give it on a scale of letter grade, it would definitely get a B plus. It is light years better than it was that it has been for the last 3 years, under the later stages of Tom Sale, and then Higley, Griffith, and Milstein, of course, writing the show. And the performances, the acting, the writing has been top notch for the most part. Again, some things I could have did without in some storylines and whatnot, but everything else has been superb. The Black Lives Matter storyline, like I said, that is what's going to give Days of Our Lives Emmy nominations and wins, because that is so poignant and so relevant into what's going on in, everyday life, what's going on in America. And yeah, it's relevant. So yeah, if you're not watching Days, get on to watching Days, because like I said, it is just been great TV. I almost hate that after an hour I'm like, I have to wait another 24 hours before Days comes back on. That's how it feels now, again, for me. Like, I am back to loving this show so much. I wish Days was longer than just an hour, because it's just that good now. It's just that good. Anyways, I'm almost at 40 minutes. I will talk to you all later on. Be kind to each other. Be good in the comments section. Let me know what you think about the show, and I will talk to you all later. Peace for now.